180,000 dead from this virus. We've got nearly 30 million people receiving some sort of unemployment benefit. The initial jobless claims went back over 1 million last week as these benefits have gone away. So that's a tough environment to present an upbeat convention, and yet the president says so. How do you do an upbeat convention with those numbers?
Well, Chuck, good morning, and thank you for having me on. We're going to see a very optimistic and upbeat convention this week from President Trump and our Republican allies, and actually from our Democratic and Independent allies as well. One of the things you're going to see this week is a complete change in the perception that I believe that the media tries to tell about what a Trump supporter looks like or who a Trump supporter is. We're going to talk about the American story, about all the accomplishments that we've had over the last 4 years with President Trump and what the president's second-term vision is going to look like.
It's Joe Biden, the person. They relied on that as what I believe is inoculation. And the problem for Trump is he's trying to run in 2020, 2016. He has not effectively made this a choice. You can't, what everybody knows from Morning in America in '84 to building a bridge in 1996, when you run a re-elect, you can't run the old race, you got to run a new race. He is trying to run the old race in 2020, and that is a calculated strategic mistake.
I think the president's clearly going to lay out his plans for the future, talking about how we get America working again, how we get America healthy again, and how we keep America safe. And you're going to hear from people who benefited from criminal justice reform. You're going to hear from Democrats who walked away from their party because of decades of mismanagement in some of our nation's largest cities. But in Wisconsin, where there once upon a time were actually Obama-Walker voters who eventually went for Trump as well, they've got to show how they can get things going in the right direction. And then contrast that with Joe Biden, who has really outsourced his agenda to the radical left of his party, including his running mate, who, according to Newsweek's, got a voting record that's more liberal than Bernie Sanders. Look forward, make the case that Joe Biden's become radical.
I think it's really important to understand that the Democrats and Joe Biden just said, we're going to shut this country down again. And that is a really elite view of America right now. Now, from a safety perspective, we tested everybody before they came to Charlotte. We have been testing people on site. We are doing the things that are allowing people to live their lives, have a convention, and do it in a healthy and safe way.
The New York Times is reporting that he's going to speak all 4 nights of the Republican convention in the 10 o'clock hour, which is obviously not tradition. Usually there's like suspense, and then finally on Thursday night, the nominee comes and speaks. Is that smart, do you think? I mean, I understand that psychologically he likes the attention, but beyond that, he wants to win re-election. Is that the right way for him to do it?
Well, I don't think it's the right way for him to do it, but knowing his personality, he thinks it's the right way for him to do it. He thinks it's all about him all the time. You know, the classic narcissism is to annihilate everybody around you and then show everybody that you can do it all alone, you can do it by yourself. That's why his campaign is having a hard time with him. That's why the executive branch is having a hard time with him. That's a classic move. It's all about me, and watch me. I'm going to win this without your help.